You just have to believe it, and that's it.
Dr. Anthony L. Trice, dedicated to sound teaching, strong training, leadership, and development. Prayers are being answered and testimonies all around the world, helping change one life at a time. Find out how to be a partner with Anthony Trice Ministerial Network. And thank you for tuning in for today's message.
I'm just quiet. You ain't quiet, just speaking.
Now continuing in the Word with Dr. Anthony L. Trice.
Man said, I don't need my wife. Well, the Bible says that my wife is my helpmate. You know why? Somebody said, why? Because you need some help. So why would you get married and act like you don't need no help? Let me say this. I would not be where I'm at without her. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. I just feel like myself. There's some things that she can do I can't do. Vice versa. There's some stuff I can do she can't do. So we are a team. So we're working together. And the Bible says two is better than one. I don't have to be right. Early on I thought I had to be. I said early on. Now I've been married 18 years. Who cares? As long as we get and accomplish whatever we try to accomplish. We arguing over stupid stuff. What difference does it make? My wife, I don't know if y'all tell us I'm busy, but my wife planned a romantic weekend for us.
Praise God.
So she told me to do some calling, so I called and set some stuff up. Then she did some calling and set some stuff up. And I just played along with it. Had a great time, man. You know what? Let me tell you what. I had to spend time with my wife. And my excuse gets about the church. No, I bump the church. Because watch this. If it ain't working in my home, it ain't gonna work here. And a lot of people got that twisted. They more concerned about the church than, now watch this. Now I got this from Bishop Davis, so you can't give credit to me. I'm not married to the church, I'm married to her. You know why? The church is a mean woman. I can't handle the church. I need God to help me with the church. Because the church is a mean woman. Y'all missed that one. You trying to handle the church. You can't handle the church, man. God got to handle his church. All right, I started from Bishop Davis. All right, read.
And two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Watch this. So two different mindsets. When they come out, they're going to be different. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to show you how different they were. Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. And the elder shall serve the younger.
Verse 24.
And when in her days to be delivered were fulfilled,
she finally had the children. Read.
Behold, there were twins.
It was her, so she was pregnant with twins. Watch this, read.
And the first came out red.
The first child was red.
All over like a hairy garment.
And he had a lot of hair on him. Over his whole body. Watch this.
And they called his name Esau.
They called him Esau. Read.
And after that came his brother out. And his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
Watch this. Esau came out first. And Jacob said, wait a minute. I got to be first. That's the spirit that he had. He wanted to always be out front. And you got a lot of people like that today. You always want to be out front. You always want the mic. It's because your spirit is wrong. Now, this was already in him. And as we read his whole life, he always felt that he should have been first. So he always tried to manipulate his way of getting ahead. Y'all quiet. It's more than you having children.
Come on now.
It's something in them kids when they at birth. You know what's in them? Somebody say what? You. So if you fast and hot, y'all talk to me. If you a liar, if you a manipulator, when you conceive children, you pass that along to your child. So it's more than you just laying down with somebody. It's a lot more than that. You are instilling something in a child when you display a certain behavior when you get somebody pregnant. You know you a thug. You was a thug when you laid down to get this woman pregnant. And she have a boy, that thug spirit gonna be on there. Watch this. So what we do, because if we're ignorant, we feed that thug spirit. You know how you feed that thug spirit? You let them play video games where people getting shed blood. You let them listen to Lil Wayne and all that foolishness. You are feeding a demon that's in a child when you allow them to be exposed to stuff that they shouldn't be exposed to. You know why? Somebody say why? Because you're not a good parent. See, we want to have kids, but we don't want to be parents. Because parenting requires some time that you have to spend with your children. I'm going to show you why Esau and Jacob were the way they were. Watch this, read.
And his name was called Jacob.
You know what Jacob means? Trickster, supplanter, con artist. This is what was in his spirit at birth. Read.
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Verse 27.
And the boys grew.
And see, not only did they grow, but what was in them grew with them.
Yeah.
Read.
And Esau was a cunning hunter.
He was a skillful hunter.
A man of the field.
A man of the streets. He stayed in the streets. I'm just paraphrasing that. Read.
And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
Watch this. He played the role that he was conservative. Yeah, a lot of folks, I'm just quiet. You ain't quiet, you sneaking. Y'all quiet. I said, you ain't quiet, you sneaking. You sneaking. You ain't quiet. Watch this, read.
And Isaac loved Esau.
I'm going to show you why their sons was the way they were. Isaac loved who? The Bible didn't say he loved Jacob. He just loved who? Watch this, read.
Because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob.
Watch this. They already got a problem in the home.
Come on now.
One parent loved one child and the other parent loved the other. That's why they was at odds with each other. When you have 2 or 3 kids, you can't love one and mistreat the other. You remind me of your daddy. You remind me of your mama, so you mistreat them because you're mad at the mama and the daddy. But the child is innocent. So no wonder we get all this chaos in the world and all these problems, because all this stuff starts in the heart. Read.
And Jacob sawed pottage. And Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
He was weak. Read.
And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee.
Give me something to eat, man.
With that same red pottage, for I am faint.
Notice the Bible keep emphasizing he was faint. You know what the word faint means? Weak. And there will be times as we walk with God where we will feel weak. And you know what the problem with that? That's our most vulnerable moment. And everybody have highs, we all have lows. Anybody get in touch with depression? That's too many folks to admit that. Sometimes we battle with depression. We battle with discouragement. Everybody hurt because you're human. That's why you got to learn to walk with God regardless of how you feel. Read.
Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright.
Watch this. Jacob took advantage of his brother Esau's weakness. So Esau was hungry. So Jacob said, man, now this is his own brother. Just give your brother something to eat. I ain't finna do that one. I gotta get something out of it. And you got some folk, they always gotta get something out of something. Why you just can't do something for somebody out of love? We always gotta be benefited. How many know they ain't the Spirit of God? Watch this, and look what he did, read.
And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die.
I'm getting ready to die.
And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
Watch this. I'm desperate. So since I'm desperate, I'm going to give up my birthright. Watch this. What was the birthright? The birthright went to the firstborn child. Watch this. The birthright denotes special privileges, say privileges, and advantages that belong to the firstborn child. So this was a custom in the Jewish culture that whoever was the firstborn child got the inheritance first. Watch this. He was willing to give up his inheritance for a pot of stew. What's our inheritance? Salvation. Amen. Y'all ready for this? Fasten the seatbelt. A lot of you all are willing to give up your eternity for sex. You literally don't rather give up your birthright, give up your salvation for a 5 million thrill. Some of us are willing to abort our destiny that God predestined for the foundation of the earth for a 2-second thrill. Where are you going, Pastor Trace? I'm already there. One of the things that's invading our churches is fornication. From having sex and look like they're innocent. And you know why it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger? Because ain't nobody preaching about it. I'm not preaching about to make you feel guilty. I'm preaching about so you come out. Because it shouldn't be. Do you not know, oh my God, when you have sex with somebody that's saved, you commit spiritual incest. I know I'm going to deal with this with a lot of preachers. I'm going to deal with this one. You a preacher and you sleeping with the women in your church? Don't try to act like it ain't happening. Some of y'all so stupid, you'll do it. Let me go over here. What dishonest over here? You get up into sleeping with women in your congregation and think it's okay. And y'all so stupid you following them. Talk about real stuff, I'm sorry. All this fornication. No wonder the Spirit of God ain't there. No wonder the glory has departed. No wonder churches are dying. No wonder we got so many dead churches. Because God's presence is not there because of the sin that's being allowed to carry on in the church. Preach the word, man. Somebody got to do it. When you don't preach against a certain particular thing, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger to the point where God leaves. Read.
And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
He sold his birthright for a pot of soup. You know why somebody said why? Because he had a weak moment. And he gave in to that weak moment. And aborted God's plan for him.
Come on, doctor. Come on.
Read.
Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat, and he did drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
He despised it. And you know what God did? I can't remember exactly where it's at, but God made a statement about Esau. Now God said this. He said, Jacob who I love and Esau who I hated. God said that about Esau because he sold his birthright. We got a lot of them. Hi, I'm Dr. Anthony L. Trice. I would like to first of all thank you for tuning to our television broadcast on today. I got some exciting news. The Lord has blessed me to publish my first book. It's entitled Integrity, the Missing Ingredient. This is a life-changing book, and I know that this is a word for the body of Christ. It will just help you understand why it's so important to be honest before God. It will help you understand why Job was so richly blessed is because God was able to trust Job. So I encourage you to get my new book. The information is at the bottom of the screen. God bless you.
Integrity, the Missing Ingredient by Dr. Anthony L. Trice can be purchased online all around the world. Dr. Anthony Trice is thankful for all the prayers and partners that help us bring this broadcast to you. And if you would like to be a partner with Dr. Anthony L. Trice, Ministerial Networks, please contact us online at anthonytrice.org. And we thank you for your continued support.
Now, if I tell you the truth, you go to hell, then it definitely ain't on me here. We almost done. Genesis 27. Watch this. It's a difference in conviction and condemnation. Satan makes you feel guilty, but God calls you to be convicted. You know what conviction does? It causes you to want to change. Amen. That's what we need to be trying to change. I'm almost done. Come on, Genesis 27, verse 1.
And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his oldest son and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I. And he said, Behold now, I am old.
Notice, Isaac been catering to Esau all the time, right? And Rebekah been catering to Jacob all the time. So they got a split already in their home. So Isaac is old now, and he said, Esau, he said, come here, Esau, I need you to do something for me. Read.
I know not the day of my death.
I don't know when I'm going to leave him up out of here.
Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison.
And take me some venison. You know what venison is? Deer meat. Read.
And make me savory meat.
See, you know what Isaac's father was? His belly. His God was his belly. His weakness was his stomach. I said his weakness was his stomach. So as long as he got some food, he didn't care nothing about nothing else. Watch this. So when you're like that, you are vulnerable for deception. And know what? Jacob and Rebekah finna come in and deceive the father. Because he was vulnerable, because he had to have something to eat. And the way to some man's belly, the way to some man's heart, is their belly. Now, I don't need none of your pie. This was years ago, I first got saved. And I was leaving church, I was in San Fran then. And the lady said, brother, can you give me a ride? I said, okay, she's been in church for years. Got in the parking lot. I said, okay, God bless you. She said, I made some pie. Do you want some? I said, no, I want none of your pie. I said, no, I don't want no pie. I thought you were saying, woman, what is your problem? All right, read.
Such as I love, and bring it to me.
And bring it to me, read.
That I may eat. That my soul may bless thee before I die.
See, watch this. He was only concerned about food because it was his God. He's so deep, he said, look, man, you give me something, this is going to satisfy my soul. That's crazy. But his God was his belly. Watch this, read.
And Rebekah heard when Isaac spoke to Esau, his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it.
Now, when the father was talking to his son, the wife was listening in the other room. So she heard what the father told the son to do. Now watch this, read.
And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother.
Verse 7.
Saying, Bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord before my death.
Read.
Now therefore, my son, obey my voice.
That was good. You put some emphasis on that. No, she said, Jacob, come here, boy. You listen to me. This is what she said. Watch this. Read.
According to that which I command thee.
You do what? Now she was teaching him wrong. So I wonder how he became manipulative. He learned that from his mother. Read.
Go now to...
watch this. What are your children learning from you? Not the work. They'll never see you You working? Mama, why daddy at home? Ain't got no job. That ain't no good example. Watch this. Even if you ain't got no job, leave the house like you got one. You know why I say that? Children do what they see.
Wow.
Watch this. Read.
Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats. And I will make them savory meat for thy father.
You know what she's doing? She's teaching him how to manipulate. Read.
Such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death.
So she was trying to get Jacob to get the blessing, opposed to Esau, who was the firstborn child. Y'all see this? Read.
And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man.
Watch this. So know what he's saying? He knew it wasn't right. So he said, Mama, in other words, this ain't right. Watch this. And look what she said. Read.
And I am a smooth man.
Know what he's saying? I'm a slick man. That's what that word smooth means. That's what folks say they smooth. Now you ain't smooth, you're slick. Read.
My father, peradventure, will feel me.
In other words, when I go to, now she telling him this. When I go to my daddy, he gonna know that I'm not Esau, because Esau is hairy and I'm smooth. I ain't got no hair on my arms. Watch this, read.
And when he feel me, I shall seem to him as a deceiver.
Y'all see this? So he telling his mama that this is wrong. Read.
And I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing.
Look what she said.
And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse.
Don't worry about it. It's going to fall on me. Don't worry about it. This ain't good parenting. Read.
Only obey my voice, and go fetch me them.
You hear what she said? Boy, you just do what I say do. Is you telling the child to do something wrong? Read.
And he went and fetched, and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved.
Read.
And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau.
So she went to Esau's room and got some of his nice clothes. Read.
Which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob.
And she put them on, she plotted. Read.
Her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck.
So she took the goats that he killed, and they stripped them and took the skin and put them on Jacob. So she was trying to make it seem like it was Esau. You know why she's doing all this? No character. No integrity. Read.
And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob.
Read.
And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son?
Hold on. He knew something was right. Watch this. Read.
And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau.
He's lying. Read.
Thy firstborn.
Watch this.
I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me.
Watch this. So Jacob, remember when he came out of his mother's womb, he grabbed a hold to his brother's heel because he wanted to be first, right? Now we seeing he trying to get ahead through manipulation. He trying to move out of order, out of God's order. Watch this, read.
And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly?
Watch this. In other words, I know I just told Jacob to go out a few minutes ago. How you back that quick? How many know it takes some time to hunt? You could be out there all day and not catch nothing. So he knew in his mind that something ain't right. But his desire for food overshadowed what was right. And he got deceived. Watch this, read.
And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to thee.
Now put the Lord in it. We always put the Lord in it. the Lord said. And see, you know why people say the Lord said? Because if you tell me the Lord said, then I'm going to leave you alone. That's why people do that. But people lying on God. Lord told me to leave. Did he? Well, if the Lord told you to leave, you'll come and sit down and talk to me and let me know. Ain't no way the Lord told you to leave. You ain't told me. You text me. People be lying on God, man. Why do you say that? Listen to this. God does everything decently and in order. So if you're doing something out of order and you're not doing it decently, God ain't gonna stop lying on God. Read, watch this.
And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near.
Come close, man.
I pray thee, that I may feel.
Let me feel your arms. Now, know he was blind. Read.
Whether thou be my very son Esau or not.
Verse 22.
And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said,
Watch this.
The voice is Jacob's voice.
You sound like Jacob. Read.
But the hands are the hands of Esau.
But you feel like Esau. So he knew something was wrong. But he gave into it anyway. You know why? Because he was a weak leader. He couldn't stand on the truth when he was under pressure. He couldn't stand on the truth when he was under attack. Read.
And he discerned him not.
He missed his opportunity to distinguish what was going on. Read.
Because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau's hands, as his brother Esau's hands, so he blessed him.
So he gave the blessing to Jacob instead of giving it to Esau because Jacob and Rebekah manipulated the father. He got some out of turn. Watch this. When you get something out of turn, you are responsible for maintaining it. So if you go out and start a church that God didn't tell you to start, you're responsible for all the bills and all the stuff that goes on with the church. When you do it God's way, he'll pay the bills, he'll cause people to come in, he'll do everything else. That's the difference. When God is in something that's smooth, when you doing something on your own, it's rough. Watch this, read, we almost done.
And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison.
All he was concerned about was getting his belly full instead of standing for truth. Read.
That my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, and kiss me, my son.
Read.
And he came near and kissed him.
Watch this.
And he smelled the smell of his raiment,
of his clothes,
and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over my brethren, over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee.
Stand to your feet. So you know what happened? He got what belongs to his brother. And instead of it being a blessing, it was a curse to him. Because it wasn't what God had for him. And when you won't wait on God, when you're in a hurry, when you're impatient, you will go ahead of God and do something that may not be the will of God at the time. If you're here today and you can be honest and say, you know what, that's me. I need some more character based on what you taught today. Then come to the altar and we're going to pray that God give you character. Now, me praying ain't going to give you character.
Thank you for watching today's broadcast. If ever in St. Louis area, please come visit Covenant for Life Christian Center at 7200 West Florissant, St. Louis, Missouri, 63136, or give us a call at 314-659-8522. For more information on how to get connected, write to us or visit us online at anthonytrice.org. And we thank you for your continued support.